Let's see. Character arrangements. Many things that come to me. Have you ever been accused? This is like a question to the universe, the entire cosmos. You ever been accused of being something that you're not? No, I mean you really feel in your heart and soul. You know you're not what the other is. Remember when I mentioned about when I was a child? You are what you are. I am what I am. I don't copy what you do. I'm not what you are. You are what you are. I am what I am. I'm always in a state of eternal peace because I'm always experiencing eternal love. That's what allows my spirit to be free. Okay? So if I am what love is, right, then you're experiencing what I am. Now you know I am what love is because I'm not doing you any harm. You're free. You're free to be whatever you want to be. You're free to be on your journey because you got a spirit with you that's your teacher, right? I do not interfere with teachers that are living spirits that are in the light, which are what love is. So if you're learning through love, then you're learning through me because I am what love is in living spirit. So your living spirit, which is what love is your teacher. My living spirit, which is what love is my teacher. Leave the souls alone. The spirit knows what the soul needs to learn. So when I was a child growing up, they perceived that as arrogance. And you can imagine what a 5-year-old child, how I responded to that. Hey, see this newspaper? This is programming. That means it's a spiritual battlefield, trying to control what it is you experience in the future or next. Actually, you're experiencing it right now because it's in the paper. It's in your mirror. Is this what you are? What's in that mirror? Nope, that's not what I am in my mirror. So you begin to realize when I would tell the people in junior high school, listen, I didn't come in here to win a popularity contest. Okay, I came in here to heal a planet. I came in here to heal a fallen spiritual system. And it's much more vast than that, which is why everything that's happening now is why we're experiencing everything we're experiencing in the now. So now this gets into approval seeking. Approval seeking, because children that I experienced, including my own parents, and bless their hearts, they were simply not aware that they were selling their children into slavery, their souls into slavery. Okay? That's why, in truth, if we really want to get truthful, because love is the law, and love is what's true, because real love is true love, because you experience real love through your heart and your soul, which means we're not seeking to do any harm to you, in which you're free. You're free to experience whatever you want to experience. However you choose to want to present yourself is up to you, not up to me. Now, whatever you present yourself in whatever form and color you choose to do that is your story. Okay? And then there's my story. So like, for example, that right there, do I need your approval to put that on me? Or are you trying to control what I experience through you without getting your approval first? First. I need your approval first before I do something here. Then I guess I should have asked you if it was okay for me to be you. Now I'm in control of what you are rather than being free in what I am, which is what love is. Because love doesn't seek to hold another mind's energy captive to what its mind is held captive to, which is all about control. Control over what you experience, needing approval. Popularity contests, popularity contests, contest, con artists, the shell game. This is where you can measure how many people are running off the thought wave form patterns of an AI, in which your mind is held captive. So now they're going to mimic what is essentially the approval seeking that you have to get from them in order to get their approval. Oh, now I get an endorphin kick. And naturally that has everything to do with what they set up on the AI net, right? So this has a story, okay? That's a rose necklace, okay? Now, this isn't, if you would say, if I would have had the ability to manifest it in form so it just becomes a part of the projection, which means the codes in my DNA, I've tried to do that. I've tried to change a lot of things about what I actually look like because of the nature of being one. I made a chip, which is a monopole, which is a polarity integrator, which means I'm one with all creation. I give love to it goes on forever, right? So I don't allow what other people are experiencing for myself to be held captive to what they're experiencing by way of their communication. That's why when I see everything that comes up on the internet that I scroll through my Facebook page, anything that's less than what I am, delete it, delete it, delete it, because I'm a high vibration unit. So what I'll do is chuck the phone in the ocean. And this is sort of how it works when you are what love is. It means that you might experience that future, but that's because you're choosing to experience that in future, because you're giving it energy to experience in the future by virtue of the communication technology. You have a relationship with an AI mirror, which means it's in the AI interest for you to experience that, because if you experience that, you're going to experience what the AI is. Now you're choosing to be with that mirror, which doesn't go on forever. So you're choosing what mirrors to hang out with. That's really what it is. Okay? So if I don't want to experience this mirror that I'm communicating through, it's in my left hand, my right hand, right? We're choosing our mirror relationships. So imagine that you're in a realm in which every mirror that you're experiencing all around you, like trees and different oceans and different lakes. Here's something you might want to imagine in your own creative engine that's on fire with that much love you're experiencing through your soul and your spirit. But imagine that the creative engine is on fire. So you can take, for example, this realm. Take a look around you. All the waterfalls, go over to the island of Kauai, right? All the places on the planet that you perceive through the beauty that's in you, which is in the mirror that you're perceiving through nature, which is Mama. Wow, look how beautiful that ocean is, how deep it is with the whales that are there. Then imagine that that becomes sort of a model of what a creative artist, and you're on fire, and you're an original sound magician. Then imagine that you could go from realm to realm to realm to realm to realm to realm to star system, where every realm that you're in is blowing your mind more than the last one, because all these creative artists that are on fire with creation are reproducing themselves at such a higher accelerated rate of speed that this new universe, and everywhere that you go in every realm that you are in, is no longer experiencing anything less than what love is. It goes on forever. Whoa. Really? Yes. That's the engine I run. I run. Running bear. White bear. The light. The light is that pure. The light is that pure. That anything that is less than what that is, like when I was 4 years old, burn it off, baby. Burn it all off. So this right here, okay, if you don't know anything about bone and nerves, having a tattoo wherever there's bones, okay, and here's a little qualifier for those in spiritual community that know a lot about energy and frequencies and the difference between using the old powder that comes from trinary rock and the different colors in which you can produce the ink, the colors, to do a tattoo, because in the olden days, only royalty were allowed to even have tattoos, right? Okay. But in this particular case, because I'm at 4 years of age, I realize I can burn off anything that happens that I be exposed to that is causing me to experience anything less than what light is, which is what love is. So if you ever saw the movie called The Illustrated Man, you sort of get it. which means we represent by what we present stories that represent spiritual realms that we've experienced by virtue of what we've learned through our experiences. And we share them by the way that we present those things in a visual format. That's a visual format. Because for you to be able to experience what I experienced by virtue of why I did this, because of what I experienced by having a relationship with another female, would blow your mind. Because that happened to have been a female that I met in a hospital as a result of having been at Rockwell International Corporation, in which I realized that everybody that I was working with cared more about money and matter, antimatter and matter, cared more about matter in the form of money, which is energy in numbers, than they did what the future prospects in their mind would be if a woman 40 miles south of us ends up giving birth to a newborn that has mutagenic effects. They were more concerned about losing money than they were about gaining speed, which is the acceleration of experiencing more love. As a result of what they were experiencing, there was a deceleration. Whoa. Going in the other direction. That's right. That's exactly right. So when I realized that everything that I'm trying to do, which is a violation of love is the law, which is simply one metric, because the acceleration speed of what I'm experiencing is the result therein of what I am in energy, is informing all the others of the crimes that are being committed. And as a result of that, what do you think happened to me? That's called an AI targeted individual. Because now they become aware of what I'm aware of. Because now they're aware of the crimes they commit. So they want to get rid of the light that is now on dark essence, because they want to get rid of the light so they don't have to worry about the light putting the light on them, like a galactic sunbeam, like a cosmic sunbeam, like a cosmic level spirit putting all the light on them. So what do they want to do? What do you think an AI psychopath does? Targets you to put it back on you, but it's not the light they put back on us, it's dead light. Excuse me. So I became targeted, and I got set up. And one of the ways in which they do that is naturally going to be sexual energy, right? Particularly if you represent the orgasm of creation, right? In which you're bonded, fused, right, with the flower side, right? So that essentially means that a goddess knows how to heal a god, a real one, right? So that's like a mother god, right? Yeah. So that means when you're the seed, all the seed, seeding all the races, you represent all the different flowers that are possible to experience in all the realms in which flowers can present themselves to us, which is the nurturing love and wisdom of a birth giver, which is the goddess side of the energy, right? Okay? So I was experiencing her as a result of what happened at Rockwell. Because I was trying to blow the horn, the 13th horn. The lake of fire is here. The lake of fire. They're not listening. They're not listening. So then, to boot on that, at the same time that that was going down, all of a sudden I find out that some guy and the girl that I married, remember I talked about her? 7 years, minus 7 years. Minus 7 years in the future, you're not going to be with her anymore as a result of what she did. Oh, with him. Yeah, when I came home one day from the fire station, because I wasn't feeling well, and found her upstairs with a guy that was based on what? Same thing. Money. See, she didn't want to live out in nature and realize that nature is going to provide us with everything we need. She jumped on the money engine going in the other direction. So the result of that was losing contact with my 3-year-old son. Okay? That's called a double hit by the AI. Okay? So that led to this and running a self-suicide program. Okay? With a demonic spirit. So I ran for what's what they call running for cover. Okay. I had a friend of mine that called me up, and this is how bad it gets. When you think somebody is your friend, because this is how it works. Now, I could give you a lot of stories on this, but I'm sure there are a lot of folks out there that could put up their own public stories in their own public way. The truth. Because I know as a child that everything is transparent when you're running pure light, right? And this is particularly true when you realize you're not running a popularity contest. You're trying to restore the universe, or if you will, the multiverse, right? Which means wherever we go in love and living spirit, where we experience anything less, which is a loss of fractal, that means that we experience a loss of energy in us. And we know we're not supposed to lose one fractal, not one. Not one. Ever. Because now I'm experiencing loss of energy in me as a result of what happened to a soul that went dark matter. Oh, wow. How many of those do we have? How many fractals did we actually lose? Is there a number on that? We can measure it in density. There are some things, believe it or not, and this is sort of how the way I know this. How would you like to burn off all the records? All the records? You mean to tell me we're talking about every soul that ever lost a fragment as a result of a war between seeded races in one galaxy or another galaxy? Wow, what are we talking about? A universe here? Yeah, what if we burned it all off? So that the only thing that we ever remember, because we don't have any memory, is we're running on eternal energy, which is what love is. And that's what the law is, isn't it? Whoa, that's universal law, which is multiversal law. So Kim Go-goon got the memo. So I'm sharing that memo, and I've been barking that memo since I was 4 years old. Like a shim. You know what a shim is, right? Crack open the door. So anyway, the story with the rose here, because it's true of how I lit myself on fire in 2016. And that would be related to when Patty talked about the pole shift, right? And Karen Ann McDonald, oh, wow, right? Was not real happy with that. That's the word I got. I can't confirm it for her. Only Karen can speak on behalf of her own soul and her spirit. I do not speak on behalf of others. I speak on behalf of my own energy, my own soul, and my own spirit because I'm an individual. There isn't another one like me anywhere in the entire multiverse. That's what a monopole is. That's why it's called a single candle. Okay? That's a big-ass candle. It means I've chosen to serve forever on behalf of the all creation so that I don't experience anything less than what I am, which is what love is. It goes on forever, gifting electrons. So that I don't have to experience anything less than what I am, which is what love is. It goes on forever, wherever my soul and my spirit happen to be, which is be what love is. When you are what that is, then you know you're eternal. So what that means is as all these movies are running, about what everybody is experiencing through the AI, because they have a connection with the AI, everything that's running on YouTube, everything that's running everywhere else, go outside, you're seeing the clouds in the sky and the blue sky or the dark sky, whatever you're experiencing out there, right? We wouldn't be able to experience that if we didn't have a camera built in, right? The camera eye. Right. So this particular lady met me in a psychiatric hospital because a psychiatric hospital was a way in which a friend of mine, who just happened to be the same guy that turned me in through the AI as a result of a female that was working in the same department that he was, that came on to me sexually while I was still on duty by unzipping the buttons of my shirt and my pants while I'm wearing a uniform, looking like a firefighter. Whoa. So all it took was for the word to get back to the Office of Personnel Management. Now they got a rule. Now they got an AI-based rule to go after the light. Did they do anything to her as the underlying causality? Oh, no. No. It's sort of like this. They didn't want anybody there making noise. Okay? Why? So they can continue to go on with all their corporate military crimes. Okay? So the end of that was that I ended up in a psychiatric hospital because my friend said, listen, you know, you might be able to save your butt with this job if you have a doctor that says, hey, you flipped out, you lost your mind, you were doing things you wouldn't ordinarily do. You think they might have been trying to do that to Gaia? All the bombs, all the Agent Orange, all the wars, fracturing soul, the AI wargamer. Yeah, so the AI gamer is gaming everyone's mind online. That's right. That is exactly right. Because unless you know what my dad used to say, every mouthpiece, do you know them personally? Do you know them soul to soul, spirit to spirit, eyes to eyes? Because as a child, I remember, listen, you can believe whatever you want to believe. I am what love is. That's what frees me to be what love is. That's as simple as it gets. So I'm not bound to have to experience what you want to experience because that's who you are. I am what love is, so I'm going to experience different things because I'm a creative artist. So here's where a few of these tie together about that which is born out of fear, which is control, and that which is born out of love, which is a free spirit. So I don't allow others to determine for me what I experience out of approval seeking. Because that's what happens when a child who's been traumatized as a result of a parent that I dare not disobey, I dare not disobey, I dare not disobey, or you're going to hurt me, or I'm going to feel badly about me because I needed your approval to feel good about me. See how that works? And that, by the way, happens to be what we call the resistance game, which is why we're ending the resistance game, because now they're resisting to be free of what they're held captive to by another's unit of energy that is seeking for you to obey what they thus will approve. And if they approve of your behavior, now you're following the rules, the ruler, which is the Pied Piper. Now I'm following you because I don't want to disobey you. Now what I experience in the future is based on what you do, based on your approval of who I am, which is not free. What it means to be an individual means to be connected as different perspectives, different artists, different musicians, and we're all playing music, which is what love is. It goes on forever, playing music that is in love with itself because it's in love with the music we are experiencing, which is what love is. It goes on forever, generating beautiful music, which are beautiful creations because we're on fire to experience the differences that are all among us. What frees us is to be what love is. So we don't hold another unit of energy captive in order for them to continue to experience who we are instead of them to be able to experience who they are, because now they're free. So what happened is I met a girl in the psychiatric hospital believing that this doctor may be able to say, Robert is okay to go back to work again because he's living in and experiencing an insane asylum. So since we're all insane, the insane asylum is giving approval for somebody who's in their right mind to be able to go back to experience more of the insane asylum. Yeah, so the insane asylum is running the show. That's called the Truman Show. That's the AI show. Okay? So it doesn't have my approval as a parent. Okay? So how this sort of comes full circle with the girl named Faith, which his name is in the middle of that heart, okay, was because she gave of her heart and her soul and her spirit trying to heal me, and I was trying to heal her. because we both met each other in a hospital as a result of the trauma, the stress, and the anxiety which distorts the waves, which is turbulent water. So she gave me, of her own heart and free will, was a safe place for me to be able to unwind, settle down, and heal myself, and we were doing that together. Because I was headed in what's known as a death spiral. The spirit is going into a death spiral. Okay? She prevented that. So how this sort of ties directly into lighting yourself on fire with a full phosphorus ignition is perceived through when years later, after she had left, we had separated from each other because it's sort of natural in how this is going to work, which is a whole nother story. But this necklace represents a story of a lot of things that were going on here, which means everything that was going on within this realm that is held in cellular memory since the first loss of a fractal. So if you know about how the bone and the nerves are next to each other, then it meant that I was willing to suffer pain because it was very painful. And it took 2 days for that artist, which was a female, to finish this necklace. So what it meant was it wasn't a template or a copy of another template because I'm an original creative musician artist. So I wanted it to be different than was a copy of a different template. So I asked her to put red and pink roses, pink rose because I'm a pink rose, the sisterhood of the rose, okay? So that it would be a rose necklace, which represents my heart, which is a diamond crystal rose, pink rose heart, with a big heart right there on the center of my throat, right, which is the esophagus. So those that know about esophageal, this is where you can put a hole in there and keep somebody alive, breathing, who's had massive damage up here, right? That's called a trach. So we know how to do a trach. So I put it right where the trach is with a big heart with her name in the center. And I was willing to experience that pain, that even though I've never seen her in a physical presence again after that, this is a symbol of letting the universe know that represents all the light in which we are what love is in living spirit, of how much I love her forever and always, the gifts that she gave me out of the love that she had in living spirit with my living spirit, what represents what eternal love is. That's a visual, symbolic representation of those experiences, which are those stories that are presented to us on a spiritual battlefield. Okay? That's why it's there. So I thought that this was important because I'm reminded all the time that I don't need your approval for anything. Because when you are what the law is, it means you're free to experience whatever you choose to experience and present it in a way in which love naturally presents it. Because anything that you see that represents a story on behalf of me in color, shape, and form is going to be represented by a story that I experienced as a result of a spiritual war. That's right. That's why we're all here. That's why I have a butterfly on the back. You see, unbeknownst to some, because I've known this being a monopole, that I've managed using monatomic gold to burn off anything less than what the purest of light is. Otherwise, I can't do my job because I came in here to do a job. I believed in my heart of hearts, with all the hearts that are here, that I had enough eternal love within me. So you can imagine how much energy I knew that I had available to me, which was all the energy that represents what love is. So you can imagine how much energy that actually is in order to heal every single soul, so that every single fractal that's ever been lost since the beginning of time would be restored and integrated back into the one, which is what light is. It goes on forever, which is the purest of light, which is the purest of fire. That's what a full phosphorus ignition is in a male avatar. That's right. Have a great day. I love you all. Be good to yourselves. Be free. Be what love is. Beloveds.